Carry on. We'll start now. We'll chant the verses of Vakya Vritti. Verse number 1. Sarga sthiti pralaya hetum pachintya shaktim Vishveswaram vidita vishwam ananta murtim nirmukta bandhanam apara sukham burasim Sri Vallabham Bimala Bodhaganam. Verse 2. Yasya prasadat ahameva Vishnu mayeva sarvam parikalpitam cha Itham vijanami sadatma rupam tasangri padmam pranatosmi nityam. Verse 3. Tapatrayarka santaptah kaschid udbhignamanasa samadhi sadhanir yuktah sadgurum paripruchhati. Verse 4. Sisya uvacha anayasena yenasmat mucceyam bhavabandhanat tanme sankhipya bhavan kevalam krupaya bada. Verse 5. Guru uvacha sadhyate vachana vyakti pratibhati badamite idam taditi vispastam savadhana manasrunu. Verse 6. Tattvamashyadi bhakyotham yajjiva paramatmana tadatma visayam jnanam tadidam mukti sadhanam. Once again. Tattvamashyadi bhakyotham yajjiva paramatmana tadatma visayam jnanam tadidam mukti sadhanam. Hari Om. Welcome to this session of Vakya Vritti. Vakya Vritti is a text composed by Bhagavan Shankaracharya. As the name suggests, it gives a short explanation or analysis of the Vakya. Vakya means a sentence. But here, this sentence means Mahavakya, the great sentence. So this is a mini analysis of the great sentence. And who is great sentence? There are hundreds of great sentence Mahavakyas. So it says Tattvamasyadi, Tattvamasi. The Tattvamasi is the main Mahavakya on which this analysis is going to take place. Before that, he started with pranam to Bhagavan and then to Guru. Okay. In while starting his pranam to Guru Bhagavan, he says, I bow down to you, who is the creator of all the universe. Not only creator, you are the creator, sustainer, and destroyer also. And you have you have a lot of power, achintya shakti, vishveswaram. So, and you can only give me jnana and so that I can get liberation. So in this Mangalacharana, the first verse is to the Ishvara and second verse is to Guru. While he is praying Guru, he has made a beautiful statement. What statement is that? Yasya prasadat ahameva Vishnu. By whose grace? That means whose means by Guru's grace. Aham eva Vishnu. I am alone. I alone am Vishnu. I am the Bhagavan myself. By whose grace? By Guru's grace. Because I am able to know and realize that Aham Brahmasmi. I am the Brahman or the Vishnu or the Lord. Only through the teachings of Guru we are able to know. Okay. Mayeva sarvam parikalpitam cha. In me alone, everything else is spread out. And I go down to your lotus feet. Then the text starts. So he says, to know this knowledge in the preliminary, in the preparation stage, he says, to know this knowledge of liberation, it is very, very difficult unless you are already a qualified student. See, anybody cannot go and study in the university. He has to go through the process of primary, secondary, high school examinations. Then only you go to the college and the university. Same way, you have to qualify yourself step by step to learn the highest knowledge. And Brahma Jnana is the highest knowledge. And Brahma Jnana, that Mahavakyas are the essence of the all the Vedantas. In all the Vedantas, Tattvamasi is the Mahavakya on which this analysis is going to take place. So for that, you must be qualified. And the qualified, not only qualified, but before that, you must also go through the process of the worldly affairs. You must look into the worldly affairs and see what are the difficulties there, how the sorrowful is the world. You must become very, he says, tapatraya or kasantapta. All the tapas, like the sun is blazing and you are scorched by that. So you must be very dissatisfied with the world itself. You find all the time sorrow. Whatever you do, there is sorrow. There is no happiness, permanent happiness in this world. Then only you will find some other means, and then you will go to the Guru for finding out the knowledge. Okay. And the Shishya says, how? You give me the way how to find the knowledge. So that preparation itself is giving how the tapatraya will be there and how to remove the tapa and what should be the qualification of the Shishya, what should be the qualification of the Guru. All that is given here. Later on, the Guru is accepting. He's saying, yeah, good, you are a good student. So whatever you are asking is very good questions and I will teach you. And that you also listen very carefully. Because Shravanam is the means, but you should also, the student also should pay attention and listen to the teachings. So with this, we stopped last time with completing the verse number 5. So we start with verse number 6 and 7 today, right? So in that, he says, Tattvamashyadi Bhakyotam Yajjiva Paramatmana Tadatmya Visayam Jnanam Tadidam Mukti Sadhanam. The word meanings, Tattva, first you see, Tattvamashyadi Bhakyotam. So you know the Tattvamasi Adi Vakya Uttam. It means arising from this sentence of Tattvamasi. Arising from this sentence of Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi will study on that, but the knowledge arising from there, Yad Jiva Paramatmana, that Jiva is what? Individual self. And Paramatma is what? The universal self. Tattvamasi is talking about this. The Jiva, the individual self, and the Paramatma is the universal self. And Tadatmya. Tadatmya is a beautiful word. It means Tat Atma. That you. That means that identity. That identity, how they are together is the same meaning. Tadatma Visaya Jnanam. How these two words of Jiva and Paramatma, and what is the identity between them? That Jnanam, that Tadatma Visaya Jnanam, that Jnana on that subject, Yadidam Mukti Sadhanam. Yat idam, that alone is Mukti Sadhanam. Sadhanam means or it's a instrument for Mukti. So once you study this, once you do vichara, once you do the analysis of this Vakya Tattvamasi, then you will understand that identity of Jivatma and Paramatma. Okay. Mukti Sadhanam means it's a means of liberation, the instrument for liberation. What is the instrument? That instrument of Tattvamasyadi. Okay. Now, the meaning of this verse becomes the direct knowledge that you can get, and from this verse, from the statement of Tattvamasi, that can get you the total identity between the Jivatma and Paramatma, the individual self and the universal self. It is stemming from this Vaidika Mahavakya, that is such as Tattvamasi means, Tattvamasi meaning is what? That thou art, you are that. Very simple, 3 words are there, I'll explain to you. So, this statement, the knowledge from this statement is meant for giving you the instrument for liberation. Any doubt about it? Let us go deeper into it. Okay. So, straight away, the teacher is making a fundamental statement very clear. What is the fundamental statement? He says that the Jnanam, Tadatma Visaya Jnanam is the means of Mukti Sadhanam. That the spiritual knowledge of oneness is only the means for Mukti Sadhanam, liberation. Let this be registered in our mind. Jnanam. Jnanam is required for liberation. There is another text called Atmabodha. In the second sloka itself, he says, Bodhanya sadhano vyohi sakshat mokshaika sadhanam pakasya bannivat jnanam vinnam moksha na siddhati vina moksha na siddhati. This is Atmabodha, sloka number 2. Bodha anya sadhanebhyo hi sakshat mokshaika sadhanam. That means you know that knowledge, Bodha is knowledge. Bodha alone is, knowledge alone is the direct means of moksha sadhanam. That means the instrument of knowledge. That means knowledge is the instrument for liberation. And he gives an example. What's the example? He says, Pakasya bannivat jnanam vina moksham na siddhati. Just like the fire is the direct cause of cooking, knowledge is the direct means of liberation. Just like the fire is the direct cause of cooking. You do whatever you want. You can cut many vegetables, you can wash it, keep it, then you can freeze it or deep freeze it, whatever you do. Without fire, you cannot do the cooking. It is a direct means. You cannot keep it somewhere else and say, my heater is not working, so I'll cook. How can you do that? Cooking requires fire. Same way, fire is like knowledge. And knowledge is required for liberation. Then you can ask, what about other sadhanas? Many people are saying we are on the bhakti marga, we are on the yoga marga, or we are doing puja, archana. So many things we are doing. Why I cannot get to mukti? He says, all other sadhanas, karma yoga bhi karte hain, bhakti bhi karte hain. All this you can do. You can do japa, parayana, dhyana, everything you can do. But they all are contributory sadhanas. They only help you to for liberation. But main mukhya sadhana is jnana. Bodha, anya sadhana. Only bodha, only jnana is the mukhya sadhana. So that teacher makes it very clear here. Jnanam tadidam mukti sadhana. In Purusha Suktam, some of you must have chanted Purusha Suktam. It says, Tameva vidvan amrutam iha bhavati nanya pantha ayanaya vidyate. Tameva vidvan amrutam iha bhavati. That vidwan, the person with knowledge only, he will get amruta, he will get liberated. Tameva vidvan amrutam iha bhavati nanya pantha ayanaya vidyate. Ayanaya means for liberation. There is no other path for liberation. No anya pantha, no other path for liberation exists. So Purusha Suktam, 2 times they have repeated this statement in the Purusha Suktam. No other route is there for liberation. So this is what Bhagavan Shankaracharya is repeating here. Jnanam tadidam mukti sadhanam. The question arises, is knowledge. Okay, knowledge we accept. What knowledge? Is the knowledge of some object or subject? What knowledge you require? See, knowledge means jnana. Knowledge means it's a transitive verb. You must add something to that. Some object should be added. Knowledge of what? So, can you have knowledge of physics, knowledge of chemistry, knowledge of psychology, knowledge of economics, or arithmetic, whatever, there are so many worldly knowledges. Can that knowledge also be utilized for moksha sadhana? Okay. So in this verse, he is saying, no, you require only tadatma visaya jnana. Tadatma means what? Identity. Tad atma, I told you. That means this and that both are same, identity. It means the subject of identity, the oneness, non-difference. In Sanskrit is called aikyam, one alone. Okay, there are no two, there is only one. Aikyam. That jnana, that identity jnana is required. Okay. Now you'll ask, oneness of what? Okay, we got that knowledge should be of Vaidika knowledge, but that also should be about tadatma jnana. He has kept on between, he has not given that knowledge should be Vedanta knowledge or the Brahma jnana. In Brahma jnana, only the oneness knowledge. And then Shankaracharya makes it very clear that the tadatma should be between the Jiva and Paramatma. Between the Jiva. What is the Jiva? The individual self, the micro self, the Jivatma. Well, they are all different names. Jivatma, Jiva, individual self, or micro self. They are all one thing. Okay. And on the other side is what? The macro self, big one. The big picture you see, the macro, universal self. and the Paramatma. So these two, the Jivatma and the Paramatma, the individual self and the universal self. Okay, the micro self and the macro self, they are one. That together, their oneness. That is Aikya. That is identity. Okay, so our knowledge should have the means of having the identity of Jivatma and Paramatma. Okay, it's clear up to here. Our knowledge should have the knowledge of the identity of Jivatma and Paramatma. Now, someone may say, "Oh, I know what is Jivatma. I've studied a lot. What is Jivatma, Jiva, the self. I've done a lot of studies, and I know, how the Sarira is divided into three: Stula Sarira, Sukshma Sarira, Karana Sarira, Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. So many things I know. I know Panchakosha. What are the Panchakosas? Okay, pass. So now you know. You know about the Jiva. Okay. Now you'll say that, oh, I know so much about Jiva, so I should know, I should be a realized person. No, you cannot, by knowing about Jiva alone, you cannot be a realized person. And somebody say, I have also studied a lot. What is Bhagavan? What is Paramatma? Thorough study, Ishvara. And Ishvara, I know that he is omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, is pure consciousness. So much study we are doing on consciousness. Is Akarta, Abhokta, Nirguna, Nirakara, Asanga. So many attributes are there. All of us are studied in all the Upanishads. Suppose a person only specializes in Paramatma. He studies in and out. He knows all the gunas of Paramatma, what is Nirguna. Of course, he's Nirguna, but still he has attributes. How to know? So, if he has a thorough knowledge of Paramatma also, he cannot have the knowledge of the two together. So, one Shankaracharya is very clear here. He says, the knowledge of oneness of Jivatma and Paramatma is expected. Not only one Jivatma knowledge or Paramatma knowledge, you should put them together and come to know that this is one only. So how does it happen in case of a Bhakta? Bhakta will say what? In Bhakti literature is very wonderful. He'll say that, yes, one is beautiful, is compassionate, is very Bhakta Vatsala, wonderful. And the Bhakti can get me close to Bhagavan. I can go to the, Vaikuntha Loka or Shiva Loka. One can go there through Bhakti. But understand, whoever is a real Bhakta, he can have the, closeness of Bhagavan, but he cannot consider as one himself. That is the difference. The ardent, the devoted Bhaktas have gone to Swargaloka, but they also come back. Okay. So, the fact of Tadatmya, the identity is still not resolved. We don't know how to do that. You do the Karma Yoga, Yoga is also preparation. You do the Satkarma, you do the, selfless work. You do all Samarpana to Bhagavan, all that you do. But what is the result? Can you get moksha with that? No. You'll only get your Chitta Shuddhi. That you will prepare yourself with your sadhana sadhushtya, that you can have calmness of mind, peace of mind, and you will have Guru, um, uh, Kripa, then you can also get jnana. So the next question is that how does a person can attain this knowledge? The knowledge of Tadatmya, the knowledge of Brahma. Can this knowledge, by just studying here and there, can it come automatically? All of a sudden, you'll get a flash in the mind that, oh, Aham Brahmasmi. Can you get that? Huh? You have to use the appropriate method, appropriate scriptures. You have to take the appropriate steps. The means to generate that knowledge of oneness, you have to strive for it. Just it doesn't come just like that. You cannot sit down for dhyana and get the knowledge. Of course, once you have the knowledge, you can do dhyana. Without knowledge, there is no dhyana. Like it is said, Sravana is the mukhya sadhana. Once you have gain the knowledge of the scriptures to Sravanam, then you only can do Mananam and Nidhyasanam. You cannot do Nidhyasana without knowing the scriptures. So, you have to strive for that. You have to work for it. Appropriate steps means scriptures to be studied for having this knowledge. And if you want, just like, for example, if you want a particular fruit, suppose you want a mango fruit, you have to plant a mango tree. A mango seed you have to plant, and then a mango tree of a particular variety you will get. Otherwise, suppose you plant a coconut, can you get a mango in that? You cannot. Same way, you cannot get the knowledge of this Brahma Jnana by doing something else. Okay? So Bhagavan is saying that this Jnana is generated by analysis of the Mahavakya. Any Mahavakya you can do analysis. But this Mahavakya is chosen by Bhagavan Shankaracharya for ease of knowing. Okay? So, by studying other books, worldly books, you cannot get, of course. First, you have to, come to the Vedanta, study Vedanta, like you said, no? Study the, basics of Vedanta, and then slowly you arise to the Mahavakya. And in Mahavakya, and this Mahavakya, of course, you can't find in other texts. Physics, chemistry, maths books, you cannot find Mahavakya. Because this is Aparusaya Vakya. It is not written by somebody. It is revealed to the Rishis. Revealed statements are there in the Vedanta or the Vedas. So, we have seen that there are several Mahavakyas also, hundreds of them are there. By the way, Mahavakya is a statement, a great statement, which makes it clear that Jivatma and Paramatma are one. That statement which makes the Aikya of Jivatma and Paramatma is called a Mahavakya. And one of them is Tattvamasi. And this Mahavakya is from the Chandogya Upanishad. So that is being analyzed in this text. And this, it is not knowing the words of the statement, Tattvamasi, 3 words, very simple. It is not enough to know the meaning of the words of the statement. It requires to analyze those words. It requires to go deeper into words. And not only the word meaning, but also you need to know not only the direct meaning of the words, but also the implied meaning of the words, the suggested meaning of the words. And that is in the Vedanta, it is there. So this right knowledge, complete knowledge, all that is required, yes. So how to say that no, by knowing this proper meaning of this word Sattvamasi, it's a statement that you can realize. How can you be sure of that? Because it is by experience. By the scriptures, by studying the scriptures, we know that many masters in the past, they have done the studies, they have done the analysis, and they have realized also that realization is liberation. And generations of masters have passed by and they are liberated. So you can also hope to get liberation by knowing the truth. That, oh, I have analyzed, I have done so much of studied, both the sentence I have studied, and then I find it difficult to know. Then you are something lacking in the self, lacking in you only. That means either the environment where you are staying or working or studying, that, or within yourself, your own self, sadhana satushtya, is not there properly. If you don't have the viveka vairagya, you don't have the sattva sampati, then obviously you cannot. So you have to improve your sadhana satushtya. How do you improve sadhana satushtya? By practicing, by having satsang, by studying. So the Guru says, oh student, you are asked very good questions. Now, are you ready for the analysis of the statement? Are you ready? Analysis of Mahavakya Tattvamasi? I am asking the same thing to you. Are you ready for the analysis? Yes?
Yes,
Very
sir.
yes. So the Guru says, I am going to tell you the Vritti. This is what the name of the book is, Vakya Vritti. Vakya means the Mahavakya, Vritti means it's a brief analysis. I'll do a brief analysis of this Mahavakya. So that is called Vakya Vritti. And that Mahavakya is Tattvamasi Mahavakya. So let us get ready for this Tattvamasi Mahavakya analysis. The whole book is that only. So Shishya says, next sloka, next verse, verse 7. Shishya uvacha ko jiva ka parastatma tadatmyam va katham tayoh tattvamashyadi vakyam va katham tat pratipadayet ko jiva ka parastatma tadatmyam va katham tayoh tattvamashyadi vakyam va katham tat pratipadayet. You see the word meaning? Ka jiva. Who is the jiva? Who is the individual self? Ka paracha atma. What is this? Paratma. Or universal self. Tadatmya va katham tayo. How there can be tadatmya, identity? Tayo means between them. Tayo means between the two. Tattvamashyadi vakyam va, tattvamasi adi vakyam, and katham tat pratipadayat. The tattvamasi vakya, katham, how that can pratipadayat means how it proves, how it discusses and proves that this is one. Okay? That means, what is the individual self? The Shishya is asking, what is the individual self? What is the universal self? how both can be identical, and how the statements like Tattvamasi can discuss and prove this identity. So Shishya is also getting into the form. He is asking, what is Jiva, what is Paramatma, and what is the identity? In fact, the Shishya is very bold also. Bold means what? It's very open. He says, I don't know. What is the Jivatma? What is Paramatma? How can there be identity? And all that I do not know. Please tell me. I don't understand anything. Whatever you spoke to me, it is like they say, no, I can't make out. See, in the whole thing now, as we have seen, there are 3-4 factors involved. One is the Jivatma. Understand Jivatma, all of you know. Jiva, Atma, Jivatma. That is the individual self. Everyone has Atma. But that is identified by the himself, the one person or one living being. And Paramatma is Para-Atma, that other, the great or the Atma. Okay. And then another word is used here, Tadatmya. That means identity. And lastly, he said, Tattvamasi Vakya will reveal. Just 4 factors are involved. And the Shishya says, I don't know anything about this. So please tell me. The Shishya says that you are saying that, he's telling the Guru that you are saying that the Vakya, the statements, generates the knowledge. Right? The statement generates the knowledge. But tell me frankly, any one of you, if somebody said Tattvamasi, and that knowledge is coming, knowledge of Brahma Vidya is coming?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
So what is, how that statement can give you the knowledge of Brahma Vidya? Tell me. So Shishya is also asking the same thing. We are all Shishyas asking the Guru. He said that how this statement can generate the knowledge of Brahma Vidya. How Mahavakya can prove that this and that, the Jivatma and the Paramatma are one. I don't know the mode of operation, how we're going to explain. How every word must give a proper meaning. Can suppose you can the word can have a meaning, and if you put together meaning of each word, can you get the meaning of the total sentence? Word means pada, right? Or word. Word will have a meaning. So word meaning or padartha. Pada will have padartha. Word will have a word meaning. So you have 3 words here. One is tat, one is tvam, one is asi. Tat means that, tvam means you, and asi means each. So that is you. How can that give me the meaning? Isn't it? So a word can give you only sabda jnana. Sabda jnana. Sabda is tat, or you say you kavita, or you say mayas. Sabda jnana. But that will not give the full knowledge. Even if you put the sabda jnana together, that also will give you a direct knowledge. Direct knowledge is the artha jnana, the artha, the meaning of the full sentence. People study a lot. Even years and full lifetime they study, but they can't grasp the meaning of the what they are studying. They mug up, everything. They'll chant the Vishnu Sahasranama, they'll chant also many slokas, Meda Suktam, Sri Suktam, everything they'll chant, but they do not know the meaning. Because they have not strived to do that. without knowing the meaning, without the knowledge of that artha jnanam, you cannot get the proper knowledge and the proper transformation of yourself to know the aikya or the knowledge of the self. You cannot understand. Suppose you take a japamala. You keep on chanting. You japa karte hai na 108 times. एक माला, दो माला, तीन माला, चार माला, पांच माला करते रहते हैं. Good enough. That is for your concentration. The japa you do only a sabda abriti. Only a sabda is coming out. A sound is coming out, and you keep on repeating so that your mind is fixed there. But when you do dhyana, you also know the meaning of that topic. Then only you do dhyana on the meaning. I told you Brahmakara Vritti. The Vritti, the thought is of Brahmakara, Brahman. That is a with the knowledge, artha. But Shankar says, by mugging up, by making it by heart, like a parrot, will not help you. You will not, yes, you can do japa, tapa, all that, but you will not become a wise person. Wise person must have the wisdom of the knowledge. Another thing is, Sabda Vritti. That means the thought, the Sabda, that gives you the Pratyaksha Jnana, a direct meaning. You take the sentence Satyamasi, it will give you that thou art. You will get a direct meaning. How will you understand the implied meaning, actual meaning? What is being suggested by the sentence? How will you know? Unless you go deeper through the text and also analyze through the help of a guru. How do you know? That thou art is not sufficient for you to know the Mahavakya meaning. So you require the Shastra and the Guru. So that's why the fourth factor that we talked, the Tattvamasi, the Vakya, will reveal that because it has been revealed by a Rishi. And the Rishi has got a Sabda Jnana, Vakya Jnana, and also the implied meaning of the statement. Now comes, what is the process of generating that implied meaning? How do you come to that? Implied meaning is what? What is not there in the sentence? There is something else that is saying. Okay? I think we have done sometimes, Pramana Vichara. There is a subject in our Shastras, in the tradition, there is a subject called Pramana Vichara. Pramana Vichara, where we know what is Pratyaksha Pramana, what is, Sabda Pramana, all that, 6 types of Pramanas are there. And the Pramana becomes a, knowledge, that is the direct knowledge. In a Pramana Vichara, in our Western literature, it is called epistemology. Epistemology. That means it tells you the science of knowledge, how the knowledge is created, what is the means of knowledge, how to know what is the knowledge, and how to know the valid or not. The knowledge is valid or not. The Pramana Vichara gives you that knowledge is valid or not. Do you get that? So the student wants to know how the statement of Tattvamasi can reveal the knowledge of Jivatma, Paramatma, Aikya in one sentence. Tattvamasi is 3 words. And the 3 words means that thou art, you are that. Tat means what? That. That is a pronoun, isn't it? That is a pronoun. That indicates what? It is often used as something far away, not near. This and that. This is near, that is far. And that far away something is there, and that is a pronoun. You can put anything in place of that. You can say the tree or a pahad, ocean, whatever you can put in that. Something, a pronoun is there. So you have to use a noun to indicate that pronoun. Then you have tvam. Tvam means what? You. You is a word which is indicating as the second person. I and you, right? I am the first person, you are the second person. Second person indicating that you are close by. You are there because the person is talking to you. When I say talking to Mahesh, Mahesh is accessible to me. So he is not far away. So that which is far away and tvam that is near me, how can these two separate words indicate identity? Asi means each. That, tvam, you and that are one. How that can indicate? The Shishya says, I can hear it, but it doesn't make any meaning to me. Just like all of us are saying. It is not revealing the meaning of identity. How can such a Vakya can discuss, how can analyze and prove to me personally, my understanding should come that these three words are giving me the meaning of the identity in the Tattvamasi. And still the Shishya is not convinced. How can it happen? The masters, the rishis, when they have used these words in this Mahavakya, it's a very common words they have used. Daily, everyday language they have used. And everyday language used that we, the Jnani Shishyas, know the meaning, direct meaning. But to express the hidden meaning, the sublime, the mystical meaning, it goes through a suggestive words, suggestive way of explanation that we'll study step by step. The student is right. He is confused. And his confusion is valid. So, but he is also straightforward and asking the teacher all his doubts. You may not ask, sometimes you don't understand, you don't ask. But the student is asking. He is asking the Guru. The Guru also concurs with him. Yes, there is a doubt. I will explain to you and I'll tell you how to get the identity between the Tattvamasi statement in the next verses. Not in this one. This is up to here. So we complete this verse now. We'll come to know how to have the identity between Tat, Tvam, Asi in the next verses. It's very important, very essential text for a Vedantic student. So we'll close it here. And thank you.